Hey guys, you already know who it is. Multimedia 7 here to do another read today. So, another message actually. Hmm, I'm gonna give it a few seconds. So, you know what's ironic? I had a drink and it spilled over. Like it wanted to like mess my notes up and stuff like that. But I got my handy dandy files. Never that. Because even if I didn't have these files, I still have my brain, which God blessed me with. So I'm always going to be able to give a message out. This message is particularly a dream catcher message overall. So get ready, because I had to let this dream marinate for a little while. I've been having dreams for since a youngin, since I was the age of 6, and yes, they have been visions where I can see things happen and they'll like happen like the next day or the same day. But then I have these prophetic dreams where certain things, like God will show me certain things for myself as well as what's going on in the world. I'll just put it like that. And I believe God has blessed me enough so I'm able to share these messages with you guys. If it resonates, it resonates. If it don't, just watch it for entertainment. Woo. So I'm going to start off with the Dreamcatcher message, and I may have some, I might have some stories for you guys and relevancy. So a few months ago, maybe 2 months ago, I had this particular dream, and it's really interesting how things played out because, all right, let me explain the dream first. The dream starts off. I'm walking into a room and I had a friend with me that I was holding hands with as we was walking in the room. So really, it looked like I don't know if she was like we was walking in the room together, but she was behind me. So I had my arm like I was grabbing her hand, but I was walking in first, and she was behind me. This particular friend is a Sagittarius placement, so that told me something about transportation, a vehicle, teaching, maybe like a parent figure of some sort. Now, what I do know about this particular friend that's a Sagittarius placement is that we have a particular similar placement. So I know that I am a mother figure to her. So that could be in relevancy to why I was holding her hand and she was behind me. So it could have been for protection, either me or her. Um, Let me continue the dream before I keep going. So, with that being said, so walking to the room, and in the room, the first thing I see was like I don't know if it was like a stage. You can reference back to my audition messages that I've had with the Dreamcatcher messages, and on this stage there was a man that was sitting in the dark. The stage was lit, but the man sitting on the stage was completely blacked out. I couldn't see him. That could be a Scorpio or a Capricorn reference, industry references as well. It was a Taurus placement. And then I seen another mother figure placement jump up. But before he jumped up, the relevancy was that, you know, Taurus placements do rule the government and things of that nature pertaining to money and stuff like that. And before the Virgo placement, just like the mother figure just popped up and said something, it showed me in the dream that this person was in jail. But even though they was in jail, they weren't in jail. So it was showing to me some sort of symbolism. Feeling locked down, but you're actually free in a sense. Or maybe free will. Because this person who was in the jail picked up a phone to call and collect, call and collect call. Well, yeah, it's called collect call. So the collect call let me know that two women in the room that have just entered wanted to quote unquote jump me. So I'm like, I bet. So then the dream then shifted from that stage to off the stage in the room, and there was two women that I couldn't recognize, but the friend that I came in with, Sagittarius placement travel, me, the friend, and the two women were all dancing together. At the same time, ironically, I got that collect call from the mother figure in the jail. So as soon as I got that message, it's like telepathy. It doesn't matter where you at. It don't matter how far in the world. Somebody hit a wall. And let me mind my business. It don't matter where you're at in the world. If you are spiritually connected to somebody, you genuinely care for this person care for you. It don't matter where you at. The person may not even know they intentionally are doing it. Some intentionally can use telepathy. This is why when people are twins, fraternal or not, they know what's up with their twin, whether they in the room or not, because they was in the womb together. That's why when people have been married for years in the legal setting of, documents, living in the house together, whether it's by contract or not, you know what's up with your partner. Your partner could go on vacation for all you care. And you know what your partner is doing. You're just gonna know. And especially with women, it's what we call a gut feeling. It's called intuition. It's called discernment from God. So in that moment in the dream where the spiritual mother figure told me those two girls possibly wanted to harm me, I didn't waste no time. What I then did was, excuse my dream, but it gets real interesting in the spiritual realm. Why the two women, I'm going to describe them real quick before I go any further in the story. The woman on the left of me was a darker complexion woman, and she was really she was bigger in size and weight. The other woman was a lighter complexion woman, and she was small and frame. It was so many parallels in this dream because it's a prophetic dream that I had to take time to even dissect this dream to even understand what it fully meant. So the two women was cool when we was always dancing together, all four people. Two strangers, a homie, and somebody I considered a friend. Once I got that spiritual download, because that's what it was. Once I got that spiritual download, I shoved the lighter complexion woman out the way. Because once I was alerted in the spiritual that they wanted to harm me, they was ready to buck up and fight. So before they can do anything, I shoved them out. I shoved the light complexion woman out the way. Then, when I looked towards the tall, hefty woman, in my mind, it was like a split second, like where I was just like, dang, she kind of bigger than me. Like, I ain't have no time to even think about that, but it was just like a thought in my mind while I was dreaming. I'm like, yo, this lady, she mad. She not only tall, but she big. I'm just like, oh, me. I'm like, My mom, I know I can take it, but I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to, I have to pick something up. I don't know, like, but in that moment in the dream, like that's what I was thinking while I was dreaming. But after I shoved the smaller, lighter complexion lady out the way, that is when I looked at the bigger lady, the taller lady, and I kind of bucked up, like, well, what's up? Like, what's going on? I'm thinking I'm about to have the fight of my life. Thank you, God, that is not the case. Why this same lady out of the two that wanted to possibly harm me in the dream pull out her phone and show me a video of a woman in red heels and was like, can you please show me how to dance like this? When I say, oh, God know how to humble people sometimes, and God has a interesting sense of humor, because like, what a way to end the dream off there. Because I was just like, wow, that's very interesting. So let's start at the beginning of the dream and move forward. Before I get into the explanation of the dream, let me tell you what happened after I had this dream. So, if you don't know, you know, I'm a musician, I make music. I'm a music artist. I'm a jack of all trades, but neither here nor there right now in this message. So after this dream was had, ironically around the same time frame, I had just reconnected with a individual, someone I thought of as like a close friend. Nothing particularly wrong with the person, you feel me? We all have faults, you know, and it was just too many faults previously as to why the friendship was ended before. Years went by, and me and this particular friend have reconnected recently. I'm thinking, honest to God, a lot of self development within myself and outwardly has taken place within the time frame of me not being friends with this particular person. And this is one of those things where you're just like, there's nothing wrong with people. There is nothing wrong with people, but as you're growing spiritually, physically, mentally, you can't expect the next person to have the same mindset as you. And that's all right. If you ever heard the term baby Christian, that's relating to someone who has the right to grow spiritually, but they're just not there yet, or they're not willing to take the certain steps. And knowing that I took the steps to become who I am today, I will never let anybody derail me. But I also understand in regards of partnerships and your birth chart and who you align to, there are certain people that you're going to, come across, and when certain situations happen, you have to act accordingly. Because I have a career in many different industries, regardless if that particular friend is into that or is involved in that or is not, it's gonna change the pace up in a certain extent. Let me explain. So this particular friend is a Sagittarius placement. So what does Sagittarius placement teach? Parent, teacher, travel. Sagittarius teach you how to parent from a mother's perspective. Sagittarius are in regards to the travel industry. That can be any vehicle, automotive of any kind. and just travel, like just going places and things of that nature. So in the dream, I wasn't surprised to see her there. So I know what that meant for me, but in the sense of I also have to pay attention. Well, I had to pay attention in the dream of the relevancy of me being that mother figure and me holding that person's hand, that person that's considered my friend. I was holding their hand, but they were behind me while I was holding their hand. That means not to say I was not and I am not equal to that person or vice versa, but in a sense, you're holding me back. And the reason why I'm even explaining that part of the dream is because she was not aware to the lifestyle I was living in a certain sense, and it's like it's nothing wrong. She doesn't know anything about the industry. She is just like the average consumer, where what you see is what you get. You go on social media, you see a post you think is all true and everything. Not that everything on social media is not, but she's not aware, like intellectually aware about what's going on in the industry. So I told her when she came back into my life previously, you know, it'd be some things going on. I'm not going to, I told her, I'm a very straightforward person. I'm not going to explain every little thing to you. I'm going to only tell you what you need to know and hear. What you do with that information is solely based on you. And I'm going to test this out and see if you can, be around in this type of environment. Knowing that she's a fire sign placement. Because in the entertainment industry, fire sign placements are very dominant, especially Leos. So I'm like, all right, this could work. I brought her around. No bueno. And there's no disrespect to her, but it's like I said, when you're not familiar with a certain type of environment, it may get weird. So long story short, because this kind of went on for weeks. Took her to an event as a plus one. Thankful to God because you never know what could happen. Something in my spirit told me, you take this girl with you to this event. Took her to the event, had a good time. I had a good event. The friend in particular was arguing with somebody the entire time. That was like my first indication of all right, something's not right. Then I brought her again around again, some more industry folks. Now, the industry, especially entertainment, is not for the weak of heart. So, and I understand that, but I felt as though because my friend had such a strong personality, it'd be all right. But she didn't understand certain things. So, like, and one of the things I love is that she has her own opinions and she's strong-minded. But sometimes strong-mindedness in a particular industry is no bueno. So she started feeling some type of way, and I started explaining to her what my path had been like before she had came around, and the type of people, and I was telling her the personality types and how, like, I didn't tell her how to act. I told her the personality types, and she still didn't comprehend. So before things could get bad or worse, I just removed her from the situation. In between the time, right before I removed her from the situation, she had contacted me for a birth chart reading. I don't mind doing birth chart readings, for lovers or loved ones. Platonic, of course. So I'm just like, all right, let me do a birth chart reading. That's when I found out she got a prominent Aries sign. Chaos magic. I said, certain things started happening behind the scenes, and I was made fully aware, like, it wasn't fully her own doing, but she had a major part to play in it. And I just gave it to God. Say, you know what, God handle the situation. I'm gonna do what I gotta do on my end. You do what you gotta do on your end. You gotta send the archangels out. It is what it is. Because ain't nobody blocking my blessings. That's for sure. Long story short, The reason why the friendship is kind of where it's at is because of one event. Just one event. It was multiple for me personally. It was a lot of things going on, things she was saying, things she was doing, how she was acting, and it's not bad, but because of I was learning from previous mistakes in a friendship partnership. Check your seventh house placements. They also play a role in who you get money with, who you friends with. Birth charts will really tell you a lot. So I was going to go to this party with some industry folks. Of course, my friend at the time, she was invited to come, but I told her, you know, it's not really my event. The people that you obviously don't like, they're having a party. Can you come? I mean, you can come. Do you want to come? You can come. If there is no negative intent. That's what I told her. This lady went and said something derogatory. Said something like, I don't know what it was and I understand why, but she went and told one of the industry folks that I was working with. She basically called him out his name. She called him out his name. She called him out his name, yo. She called him out his name. Was talking to him crazy. Right before the party. Like a few days before. I said I was so glad. I think it was like 3 days before. So I'm like, all right, communication bet, you're not coming. You're not coming because you will not block my blessings. If I'm in an industry where I need to network and talk to certain people, it's all right if you don't like them. But you will surely, if I have to go work a room, you're not coming with me. And it is what it is. You have to stand firm on your beliefs and who you are, even if it is a friend. So before the party, I've been trying to get this particular friend to come outside, let's go have fun, let's go do things. Now, previously in the friendship, it's not that she didn't want to go do these things. We might not have the same interests. Also, like, whenever I want to do something, she didn't want to do it. I noticed that previously in the friendship, like when I want to do certain things in the business end, she didn't want to do it. But then after things have been situated, that's when she would come around. And whether it's indirectly or directly done, on her end, that's what was going on. So when I started seeing these same patterns, I realized I'm like, all right, you may be blocking my blessings. But I had to see a little bit more because I could be a little stubborn sometimes. Because I could be loyal to a fault in the past, but not anymore. This woman invited me out, and an interesting moment happened. Went to go see. So the person she called out their name, whether he deserved it or not. After just saying all horrible things about this man, even telling me horrible things about him. She didn't say, "Oh, call such and such. I want to see it. I want to see him." I think you just what? Like, so you want to put me in the middle of your chaos? No. I ain't doing that, Jen. After that, I ain't do it. I said, listen, that day I did call that person because this was before the fact. I called him. He said he was gonna be on his way. I called my other industry friend. Was hanging out with the industry friend, waiting for this guy to appear. Honest to God, if it was me, I wouldn't have came. Since she called him out his name. So one of the industry people I know, he started getting on the turntable. He getting hype. He about to do his thing. We got a show coming up. Now, he wasn't blasting the music or whatever like that, but I'm still having a good time. I'm vibing. I'm getting my content in. Mind you, my career is within different industries. I'm with an industry person at the yeah. So like, so she was just sitting there, seeing us do what we do, and she ain't really like get what was going on. So I'm just like, I'm vlogging. He on the turntable. She just in there chilling, and that's cool. Next thing you know, she gets up and she says she's leaving her rides outside. No friend left behind. Am I right? So it's like, at what time was you gonna tell me that you was about to leave? So you just gonna leave me here just to? Not saying that I can't handle myself, but I was just like, all right, that's an automatic violation on play. So obviously I'm not gonna leave her. She was like, oh, that's what you. Oh yeah, would you like a ride? Da, 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 da. Like it's just like I took a ride to go home because I was just like, nah. I see what's going on. It's cool. It probably is good that she left early. What happened was the guy said he was gonna be there at a certain time. The guy, she called out her name by the way. And 30 minutes had went by, and he said 30 minutes went by. The guys that she wanted to see did not come. She only waited 30 minutes, and she said, "Yeah, I'm not waiting on this guy." Cool. She left. I went home. But from that day, I knew she could not come to the event. So when the event did come, well, it was 3 days into the event at that time period. So them 3 days that were prior to the event, I was like, all right, let me see something. Because, like, I started realizing every time I'm about to do something, every time I have an event, this person who consider a friend would try to get into my energy, call me, talk to me, come see me, and stir something up before a big blessing was about to come. So it's like, it's not that I can't be around you, but it's like I got something important to do. I don't know if you can come around. So after all that was going on, I skipped the whole part, but I ain't even gonna put her on Front Street like that. You feel me? But I have to say it because it coincides with the dream. Because before we left the ooh, about shake things up. So before we left the event where she was waiting for the guy, but he never came for her. I was vlogging. I was doing like a little like cutesy dance moves and stuff like that. Doing my thing. I noticed that she was a little inebriated in the corner, and she was kind of looking at me googly eyed. And I was like, this is something that I've heard. It's something I've heard a lot of times talking about our friendship and knowing her past and stuff like that. I don't get down like that. Like I'm monogamous and I only like men. So I took note of that, and I was just like, So after I went home, I decided within myself, because I prayed to God about it, and me and God decided, do not contact this person before the party. If the person contacts you, like this particular friend, if the person contacts you, it's fine. If the person don't contact you, take note of it. I did not message, call, text, nothing this person. To this day, it's been like 2 weeks. To this day, still have not spoken to this person. And it's interesting for another reason, but I'm not gonna get into it in this message. So I say all this to say people can be your destiny helpers, or they can try to block your destiny, but if you have a destiny, it can never be blocked. You just gotta know what people to be around, who to associate yourself with. It don't gotta be the best of buds, but like you gotta know it's a time and place for everybody. Some people can go certain places, some other people can't. Not saying like they limited to where they can go, but it's like you have to be wise and use discernment. Like if somebody's into engineering, you're not going to put them in a ice cream parlor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's stuff like that. So going back into the dream, what I realized was on the outer in the outer world, wherever that was going on, 5 things happened. Came in, danced, someone told me what was up. I tried to help my friend get out, left her, got rid of the skinny girl and the bigger, taller person, but the bigger, taller person wanted me to teach them how to dance. That's why I'm writing my notes. I know I'm paraphrasing right now, but just listen. So first and foremost, the LGBT agenda. Because I'm in the industry, I already know like that was a wave, like that was like a era for a time. It shouldn't even be like an agenda. It's like it is who certain people are, and I don't identify with, but I have no problem with those people. Like that sounds so rude, those people, but like no, for real. Like do what you do, but don't force that opinion onto others. But I know in the industry, people feel as though that agenda is forced. So hear me out. Came into a room, somebody was holding my hand. So in a sense, spiritually, it's like the industry wanted me to think that, oh my God, you're not going to find your person. You might as well just settle down and just be with this girl that you've been friends with for so long. Like, ew. So that all that let me know is that someone in the industry, at minimum, could be portraying themselves as they straight, but they having sexual relationships with their friends. That is not I. And it's somebody who's either a Taurus or Sagittarius placement, highly significant. Then the dance with the girl. So now in dream, dancing can mean a whole bunch of different things. Like dancing can be in relations to sex. Dancing could be in regards to a ritual. So it could be like a LGBT ritual or women wanting to have sex with me. I mean, you can look, but you can't touch. I'm telling you now, I do not go that way. And I'm fine with that. If you go that way, that's cool. I mean, the most a female can do, chasing me right behind me. And you too, I'm talking about AHS. You told me what was up. In my dream, 33 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock, YouTube just told me I'm live. And while I'm saying this, YouTube told, in my dream, my own man, like, I may have not been with the man previously, but that, like, God then woke my man up in my dreams to wake up and tell me and pass me on a message, like, nah, like, he told me what was up. He was like, they trying to jump you. They trying to get you into this LGBT jump. Like, they trying to have you, do sex with another woman. And I remember in the dream, I was like, bet, like, because I already know I'm not with that. So I'm like, all right. Like, that's how I knew, like, God, it's so many different situations where I know God is, like, so omnipresent and awesome. The fact that God showed me a representation of who my, quote unquote, what y'all say on here, kingdom spouse, who my man is, and then how my man in the dream was helping me, I said, oh yeah, go time. So, like, in a good way. So I'm just like, all right. So my man told me what was up. I don't have to conform to those agendas or whatever. So I'm all right, cool. In the dream, I was holding that friend's hand, that female figure, Sagittarius placement. You're a good mom. That's all I'm saying. If you know, you know. Anyways, so in the dream, I was holding my Oh my gosh! Because now I think about it, even though my man told me in the dream what was going on, it's another reference because that could have also been Beyonce, Nicki Minaj reference. I'm not saying they're not cool, but they cool, but they not that cool because they have two separate ideals. So that's interesting that was just brought to my attention just now. Because in the dream, I tried to help my friend. I tried to help the Sagittarius. You hear, you see, holding the hand. Someone needs somebody's protection or help or something like that. Because as chaotic as somebody can be, no pun intended. As chaotic as somebody can be, they still see your light. They still see what you got going on and how you can be a benefit to them. Likewise, obviously, like because it's my dream. So I'm just like, oh wow. So that's where somebody can come into your life and not intentionally try to harm it. It could be unintentional, but just by knowing your birth chart, you can really avoid these problems. So no negativity. So now that I'm looking at this, all I'm gonna say is Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, their families, they had a secret discussion about whatever's going on right now before everything came out publicly. They have a game plan, and if it's in accordance with God and His plan for them, it should go well. Anywho's, um, dang, Beyonce, do what you gotta do. No free promo. No free promo. Oh my gosh. They just let me know something. Anyways, they just let me know something. All right, guys. All right. So yeah, sometimes you got. It's so messed up. It's like it's giving the analogy of like someone got the short end of the stick. It's like people were pulling stick and they was like, all right, who? So that's probably what happened with Diddy. He got the short end of the stick and everything. They was like, all right. But what's always good to look at is the reasoning in things, understanding the cause and effect of things. Because when you know who starts something, especially like if it's an issue, when you know where the problem came from, it's easy to detach from the problem where you know when it's coming from. You get what I'm saying? So, number 5, there was 2 different women, a darker complexion woman and a lighter complexion woman. Before I get into that, lighter complexion can be in regards to air signs. Darker complexions can be in regards to fire signs in my dreams, the dream catchers. So like since I'm in the industry, the darker complexion woman who was tall and big built, she would be in relevancy to a Leo placement. So if it's a person in the industry right now who that woman is like, it's a Leo placement. Or a man that wants to be a woman. Or it could be a gay man. That's cool. Because in relevancy, before I even go into the second part, relevancy, it could be a gay man because in the dream, the tall, dark-skinned man, darker complexion man, he wanted me to teach him how to dance in high heels. So that can go into cross-dressing. You know, I don't have no problem with men cross-dressing as long as it look good. But yeah, so it can be in regards to the LGBT and stuff like that. Because men, regardless of how you identify sexually, you always have to learn from the woman. And I ain't gonna hold you. These cross dressers out here, they be dressing real nice. They be dressing real nice. I ain't gonna hold. But the idea, that thought would never have formed. Even with what's that thing called? It's not ballroom dancing, where like they get dressed up and they put the wigs on, do the makeup, and they be having like these like really like cool. like underground shows. It's not so much underground now. I can't think of what it's called. I'm keep hearing ballroom, but it's not ballroom. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So is that now when I'm talking about the light complexion woman in regards to air signs, she ain't saying nothing. So it's not a Gemini. So it's either an Aquarius or a Libra woman. In the previous message, we were just talking about Libra as in Kim Kardashian and the archetype of woman in the industry. The other one is Aquarius. Now, follow me. Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion. Somebody else is missing. Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Kim Kardashian, and Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Kim Kardashian is one more person. And Nicki Minaj. Kim Kardashian is taken out the equation because she does not do what those three other people does in regards to entertainment. She's in her own league. Or put it like that. So you have the Virgo Beyonce. You have Megan Thee Stallion, Aquarius. Then you got Nicki Minaj, Sagittarius. The Virgo needed the Sagittarius to build momentum. Hear me out. Very talented woman, the Virgo is. But as far as the industry, you need a Sagittarius placement. So she was using, not only her man, but another colleague for that. But whatever happened between them, it's interesting because if you think of her husband, which is the Sagittarius placement, excuse me, Beyonce, I gotta say it. You worked with another female, which promotes the LGBT agenda. And if that's what you do, or that's what you're about, or that's what you're promoting, that's cool on you. Her husband, this actual Sagittarius placement, recruits the Aquarius, the celebrity. Follow on. And then manages her, who also did collaborations with Nicki Minaj, the Sagittarius placement, which also promotes what? The LGBT agenda. But when the husband does it, it's man and woman. And Megan doing her thing right now. But you see what happened, what was going on with Megan when she was working with the Libra, Cardi B, when she did that WAP song? What was going on in the media then? All right. Literally, they was literally putting their legs together and scissoring on. This is why they're literally putting their legs together and scissoring in a music video. So in the dream where my significant other, the one God has for me, and it's going to be that, and nobody can ever break that. Really came to me and told me in my dream, being used by God to tell me in my dream, these women are trying to jump you. That's the word that was used. And if you don't know what jump means, like harm me, like double team up on me. In my dream, it may not have meant to be like, oh my gosh, they're gonna harm me. I take it as harm because I'm a monogamous, strictly teen lady. So it's like, to me, to force that kind of agenda, to force that kind of opinion of what somebody else is doing on me, to me in my dream, it seemed like you was trying to harm me. No, I'm really not with that. Y'all can do that. I'll even cheer you on. But I just need one man. One man. Ooh. But yeah. So what I did notice after is that like, when I go to these industry events, they do have that agenda going on. But I really feel as though be who you are, do what you like, and if it's not conflicting your own personal morals, then why not? So this was an interesting discovery. So what I did write down my notes, which I probably already spoke about before, there are four things that am pertaining to the dream catcher and this message: YouTube, colorism, the LGBTA agenda, and forcing agendas. Now, forcing agendas isn't particularly a bad thing because these agendas are what gets mass media, the public going in a sense, like conforming to society's norms in a sense. And there can not be any norms if they're not created. The LGBT agenda was created because there was a demographic of people who were feeling some type of way or unjust. So they created their own occult. Any group is an occult. It's a cult. Even church. So it's all about, once again, your morals and what you believe in. And I just don't believe that I have to be gay. And God showed me that. And I'm very, very happy about that. Let me pull some two. How many on? All right, let me pull some cards. And it's interesting because the dreams even gave me a parallel meaning into something else that was going on. One second. Y'all have a nice day. I like your braids. No problem. Yours too. You wanted some food? Oh, I. You gotta love the children. So, ooh, that's a different message for a different day. All right, let's pick. Let's play some cards real quick. Is there anything else I need to know in regards to this message? So celebrity names came out. Y'all ain't had me do a story time. Do y'all really deserve a message? God, what do we need to know and clearly see in regards to this message in this dream catcher? Ooh, right on the money. People love me. Money comes to me easily. Yes! Hold on. Let me. This is my second live on YouTube, so like I'm just like feeling it. Y'all gonna give me all this money? Thank you, God. I am your prophet and also a high priest. I continue to have fun and look beautiful. I already talked to God about that high priest thing. Listen, when I said like I always knew I was a prophetess from a young age. I was told from a young age. I'm blessed to have known since a young age. How, in regards to like tarot and stuff like that, high priests are usually a Pisces placement. So if you believe in past lives, thank you, God, for helping me manifest an overflow of physical and spiritual needs for myself. Amen. So really, this was just like a message, just to not talk, but like get some out, start something up. Spiritual message. God blesses me with natural gifts. I think that is neat. I think it's really neat. I have and gained great fortune. Amen. If there's any spiritual affirmations that you like, you can use them as your daily affirmations. If you don't know what affirmations are, they're like prayer points. So before you start your prayer points, you have a list of what you want to pray about or you want to receive. You can say these in the mirror and bring in the blessings. All right. That's a message. Stay blessed, y'all. There's a lot going on.